And tonight we have Maria. Welcome, Maria.
Thanks for having me, Ruth. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
What I do? Well, I am an American and I live in Milan, Italy. And I work with small businesses there, local businesses, to help them get found on the internet, get found online. Because even though the people that I work with are the best in their industry and they're the best in the area, that doesn't do them any good if their clients can't find them.
That's right. So I'm curious, how do they find you? And you have a great story because you do whatever you do in far parts of the world. Can you kind of share with us? It's a beautiful way to have freedom and to create a career the way you've done it. That takes a lot of guts and stamina.
Well, looking back now, I was sort of the poster girl for how not to move to Italy. Basically, my employer sort of bought me a plane ticket and said, have at it. I moved over 15 years ago. I was working for a company that made golf clothing, and all of our production was in northern Italy, and so I did that for a few years, and they asked me to come back. At that point, I decided that I liked being in Italy. I started working in the shoe business. And during this time, I became very active in the expat community because there's a large English-speaking community in Milan. And so that is where they managed to find me because I was always a visible member there. I run a networking lunch, and I've been active with a nonprofit women's group. And so I feel like I know most of the foreigners like me, the English speakers that live in Milan.
So it sounds like you really showed up the way that you do your business, and your potential clients and ideal clients saw that you were visible, even though you lived, you were an American, and it sounds like you made yourself very comfortable and very visible in Milan.
Yes, absolutely. I've never been one to be afraid of the spotlight, so I was happy to raise my hand and point at myself and say, "Look at me," and people realized that I could help them do the same thing. I could help them get found.
And so, how do you think they find you?
They just find me as an active member in the expat community at my American Business Group networking lunch that I put on. The Professional Women's Association, and various other expat groups that I belong to. I'm the lady from California.
The lady from California. So, there's so much now with online marketing and getting visible. And whether it's bricks and mortar companies in Milan, Italy, or anywhere around the world, what are two things that you would recommend or suggest for people who want to gain visibility online? Because you're the online visibility specialist. So what would you suggest? What are two things they can at least get started?
Well, I guess the main thing is being found online it's no secret. It's all about that quality counts, but quantity counts as well. And it's about content creation, whether it be articles, whether it be video, whether it be audio. But the thing is that you've got to just create lots of content out there because there's so much that you've got to have your own quantity out there so that you don't get lost in the sea. You can't do everything. Is it worth it to you to learn how to be the expert and to be able to devote all of your time to marketing yourself? Because it takes enough for you to be an expert in your own field. And you wouldn't cut your own hair, you wouldn't fix your own car, so maybe you should leave the marketing to someone else rather than trying to do it yourself.
I'm so on board with that. Delegate, delegate, delegate. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Maria, for sharing some bits of wisdom.